What is up, everybody? Ray and Brennan here with another episode of Franchise Tag Fantasy Football. We are bringing you what the people want, right? That's what we're seeing by the analytics by this whole thing. The 12-person full PPR mock draft. We're going to get you ready for this draft season, get you those championships, get you those rings, those trophies, that glory, right? That glory. Oh, I just love seeing the success stories of the people that listen to us and dominated their leagues. That's all I want to see, right? So please put that in the comments if we're helping you out. Brennan.
Yes, sir.
Let us know about the news that's going on right now.
Yeah, so as of Tuesday, August 22nd, Elijah Mitchell did return to practice because I believe he had an oblique strain. So for those that don't remember, that him and CMC, when they both were on the field, he did eat into CMC's share. I would still pick CMC in the top 5 picks. Nothing to worry about. He does need someone to counterpart, but for those that are drafting, Elijah Mitchell did return to practice. I know he's made out of glass, but when he's on the field, he's very good.
How do you feel about Elijah Mitchell? Do you really like him? Would you feel comfortable with him as your RB2?
Not RB2, but like if there's a gamble, because he's going like the pick 100. So think about it. If like Christian McCaffrey does go down, that's Elijah Mitchell's backfield. So you just took all of it. So it's a coin flip. Anything after like a pick 110, it's a coin flip. That's where he's about going. So I'd feel pretty comfortable that happened. You don't want to wish for injuries, but if it happens, it happens.
I think he's a viable handcuff for sure. I agree with that. Viable handcuff.
Yeah. And then the Monday night preseason game of the Commanders and Ravens was actually a really entertaining one. Surprisingly, it was a fun back and forth game. Ravens finally snapped their win streak of 24 games, but within that, Terry McLaurin got injured, and it was kind of scary. But scary Terry, of course. But he got an MRI today. It revealed his day-to-day, so he's gonna be good to go for week 1.
Not really concerned. I'm not concerned.
Yeah, I wasn't concerned at all. I was concerned when we get the MRI, but they're hopefully saying it's turf toe. That's like the max we would hope for it to be. So that's about it, though. And then Ray, I got some devastating news for you to hurt your heart. But JSN broke his wrist, and he's out 3 to 4 weeks. So that's pushing timeline of week 1. I don't think he's out there week 1. That's a tough push. He's your brand new rookie. No need to rush him out there. You have Tyler Lockett. You have DK. You can feel pretty comfortable going out there,
especially with the wrist. Like wrists can kind of nag, and you don't want to aggravate that because that could be a lifelong thing. It does pain me. It pains me to hear that, and I truly wish that maybe they don't play studs like that at all during the preseason. But what am I supposed to say? I like seeing him.
You do want to see something out of him. I don't like playing the starters week 1 of preseason. Maybe week 2, get him a series, and then week 3 play a quarter. It is season's around the corner. You do want to get some sort of actual gameplay. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it sucks to see that because I had a feeling he's one of the guys. I feel like if you draft him, you're holding on to him because rookie wide receivers take a while to develop. So it's just one of those things you were not hoping for a JJ situation. It's going to take some time with them.
Yeah, I think so as well.
And then the last bit of news, I know I broke down a video, guys, for Jonathan Taylor, but I do have to reveal it. The betting favorites right now are the Bears and Dolphins. If you were to go to team, Vegas is pretty tight with their lines. So they do have something to say, like when DeAndre Hopkins was, a free agent, the Patriots were there and also the Titans, and they listed. So they do list teams. They do have some sort of credibility. Same with Dalvin Cook and the Jets. He was a pretty heavy favorite when he got signed there, so you can follow the money.
Yeah, I really like this commander idea. I like that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pay what $4 billion for a new franchise,
yeah,
what better thing to do than go and get some new blood in that organization, get some real talent? I think that obviously JT outweighs anything they have in the backfield right now, and that would put asses in seats, and that's what you want in this current situation.
I agree. Yeah. But the Commanders, Sam Howell looked pretty good in that preseason game, though. He looked pretty interesting to watch him. I know it's preseason, but he still looked good. Zay Flowers scored a touchdown too. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did. Zay Flowers looked good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited about all the rookie receivers. I think they're all going to be real difference makers in the league come 2 seasons from now.
Yeah.
So they're good receiver class, and maybe you'll see some draft picks here real soon about that. Brennan, are you ready to get this thing started?
I am.
Hell yeah, let's do that. Let's do that thing. All right, so like we had said earlier, I'll lay out the whole, fandango of this here mock draft. But we have a 1 QB, 2 RB, 3 receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex, full PPR, 12-man league. I'll be drafting from the 5th spot. Brendan will be drafting from the 10 hole. And without further ado, Brendan, would you rather just get this thing started, right?
Let's get the ball rolling.
Let's get the ball rolling. Let's do this. People have been waiting too long. So, starting off, I think pretty. I guess, no surprises, right? I think this is no surprise with Justin Jefferson going 101. I think he should be going 101 in your drafts. Then Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, which is kind of surprising to me, Jamar Chase, and I'm on the clock. And I'm going to do it. Brendan, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something I haven't done. It is. I haven't done this at all. Going to do it. I'm going to go Travis Kelce.
Okay. It's a good pick. I mean, it's where he went in my big money league. He went at 105. So,
yeah. So after Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill goes, Cooper Kupp, Bijan Robinson, which is too low. Bijan Robinson should be the number 1 overall forever. AJ Brown, and Brendan, you're on the clock for the first time.
I am on the clock here. So I have the options of, I was like Stephon Diggs. My apologies. Hold on 1 second. Someone rang my fucking doorbell. Let me just start this up. Hold on. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. We are still working through this new app we're using, so I apologize for that. Brennan, you were going to tell us about who you're about to take at the 110.
Yeah, so right now, since it's 3 wide receivers, Stephon Diggs looks like a pretty smash and grab here for myself. I have Saquon Barkley available. I do have CD. Patrick Mahomes is there, but I'm not going to take a quarterback in that first. It's too early. So I think for myself, I'm going to take Stephon. So when you hit that resume button, you can hit draft. There we go.
Come on.
There we go. And I hit Stephon. So there we go.
All right. So after you took Stephon Diggs, Derrick Henry went, then Nick Chubb rounding out the first round. Then to start the second round, Patrick Mahomes goes Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you're back on the clock again.
I think this is a pretty easy smash for me. I think I'm not even going to think about it. It's Saquon, but I can talk about it a little bit. There's CD available. There's Devontae. There's Garrett Wilson, who I do like, but I think Saquon is a top 3 talent. You could argue top 2 for fantasy-wise for running backs, so he's a pretty easy smash for me. So starting out my draft with Stephon and Saquon, I feel pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely like that stack. I'm kind of nervous about what I'm doing here, honestly, because I don't usually go Travis Kelce, so it's like a whole different aspect of what I would do here. But after you go Saquon, Josh Jacobs goes, then Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, Jonathan Taylor, and then I'm back on the clock. With the recent news of Jonathan Taylor most likely moving, right? I would think he is. If they didn't talk about it, if he wasn't going to, then I feel a little more comfortable taking him now than what I was before. How do you feel about that?
So I don't know. He's such a weird spot where, if I want to take him, I wouldn't do it in the second round. It would have to be a late third. That would be such value where it's so hard to pass on it. But there's still other guys that I feel can put up the same points right here. So I don't think I'm touching him until about that late third where I'm at. So if he fell to where I'm at, it'd be pretty hard to pass on him.
Yeah, I still think I'm waiting till the third, but it does bring a more, I guess, certainty to his situation, right?
Yeah.
I'm running out of time here on my pick here, so I'm gonna go Garrett Wilson, and because it's a receiver heavy league, I think it's a little more reasonable. After I go Garrett Wilson, Tony Pollard goes Josh Allen, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, rounding out the second round, starting the third, Mark Andrews, Jalen Hurts, T. Higgy, Najee Harris, and I'm back on the clock again. I think that at this point, the way that getting Travis Kelce kind of puts me in a hole in other positions, I think that I'm going to have to punt on running back till much later. And that you have to. You don't have a choice.
But if you have Travis Kelce and Garrett Wilson, it's a great start. So
absolutely. And I think that I'm going to gamble a little more.
Okay.
I know this is high. I know
right.
I can see your face without seeing it, Brennan. I can see it. Calvin Ridley.
Oh.
So after I go Calvin Ridley, Lamar Jackson goes Devonta Smith, which I was muddling over. Deebo Samuels, Brace Hall, and you are back on the clock, Brennan.
Yeah, so I have Ramondre available. I have DK, Travis Etienne, Joe Burrow, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Joe Mixon right here. with it being full PPR, this is really interesting. I've been kind of like not fading him, but like trying to avoid him. But Jahmyr Gibbs is really interesting in a full PPR league. I feel like we can see 80 receptions his rookie year and then still have some sort of rushing work. So like it's really hard to pass on that. And so like I'm swinging for the upside here. I play to win. So like Ramondre is great, but Zeke's been, there's news today that like, Zeke's gonna eat into the receiving backfield, which kind of scares me a little bit. So I think I'm gonna go Jahmyr Gibbs and just do it swings around this back way.
I can get behind that. I think that's fine. Your running back room is now set. You have a lot of pass catchers in your running back room. I like that. All right, so after you go and take Jahmyr Gibbs, DK Metcalf goes. Travis Etienne rounds out the third round to begin the fourth round. Ramondre Stevenson goes. Joe Burrow, and you are back on the clock again, Brennan.
It is. So I have Joe Mixon available as my highest rated player. I have Keenan Allen, Aaron Jones, and then I could take Justin Fields as the top quarterback, and then there's TJ Hawkinson as the highest rated tight end. I'm probably not going to do tight end. I think it's just too much reach right now. I do like Aaron Jones. I do like Joe Mixon. I do think Joe Mixon's, he's got all that work there. No real backup. Chase Brown doesn't really scare me for him. Then Keenan Allen's just so safe in PPR, and it's so hard to pass on that. I do need other wide receivers since it's 3 wide receivers, and I feel like him being my wide receiver 2 makes me feel a little more comfortable. So I'm going to go Keenan Allen here.
It's funny that you threw out those 2 names because those are the 2 names that I'm thinking about as well. So, and I knew that one of them wasn't going to get back to me. So, after you go Keenan Allen, George Kittle goes Justin Sherbet, Ken Walker, DJ Moore, and I'm back on the clock. I like DJ Moore in the 4th. I really do. I don't hate that. No. So, I'm still mulling over. Do I even bother taking a running back right now? There are some good running backs still left on the board. Some that are going to be catching a lot of passes. And I do like Aaron Jones, and I'm glad that he fell back to me because I am going to go Aaron Jones as my RB1.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty easy. I'm surprised that they fell that far in a mock. So I've never seen them go this far. Usually they're in the 3rd. So
yeah. So after Aaron Jones goes, then Joe Mixon, Amari Cooper, TJ Hawkinson, Trevor Lawrence rounds out the 4th round to begin the 5th round. DeAndre Hopkins goes, Jerry Jeudy, Drake London, Justin Fields, and I am back on the clock again. Now, I would have really been pumped had any of these players outside of TJ Hawkinson fell to me. I would have been really pumped, and they did not, and it's unfortunate. Yeah. I would have really liked to have that Trevor Lawrence stack, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
QBs are flying on these mocks.
Oh, yeah, they are. And I think I might have to make the move now because if I don't, that's going to get tough. Do I believe in Dak? Do I believe in it?
Oh, I think it's way too early for Dak right now. I think it's super early. I think you can still get quality players right here. I know you've seen quarterbacks fly and it makes you a little nervous, but like I do like a lot of the players here still left on the board.
I do as well, but it's definitely like, hey, if he goes, it's gonna start getting a little risky. Yeah. So with it being full point PPR and with the rest of the running backs that are still on the board right now, I'm mulling between Alexander Mattison and DeAndre Swift. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go Alexander Mattison to just solidify whatever running backs that I have, and then hopefully I get some receivers to fall back to me in the next round. But that's what I'm looking at.
That's a solid pick. I was hoping Alexander Mattison would fall to me, so I'm very sad.
All right. So after Alexander Mattison goes, then Damian Pierce goes, Miles Sanders, Kyle Pitts, J.K. Dobbins, and you are on the clock, Brennan.
And a flurry of running backs just went. That makes me very sad. I was looking at one of them, but so my highest player is Terry McLaurin, and then it's Christian Watson, who I think is just too much of a gamble. I'd rather have Terry than Christian Watson. The tight end, I do like Darren Waller a lot. I like Dallas Goedert. There's DeAndre Swift, who I'm still a little unsure about. I do like Brandon Ayuk, Cam Akers, James Conner. I think the fact that Terry's still here, I think it's hard to resist. I think Sam Howell looked great. I think he's going to give him enough. I'm not saying Sam Howell's a future for the Commanders, but I think it's enough to be putting him as a wide receiver 2. And so as my wide receiver 3, that's pretty exciting.
Terry McLaurin's so frustrating to just not be a receiver 1 because he's so good. It's so frustrating.
How do you have a decent quarterback? He'd be in receiver 1.
Oh, yeah, for sure. After Terry McLaurin goes in, Christian Watson, Alvin Kamara rounds out the 5th round, which I was kind of hoping would fall to me, and I would have took him. starting up the 6th round, Dallas Goedert, Darren Waller, and you are on the clock again, Brennan.
I am, and so DeAndre Swift's the highest rated player, which I'm not on him, so I'm probably gonna fade him. Wide receivers are Godwin, Ayuk. I really like Ayuk, Michael Pittman, Lockett, Christian Kirk, Mike Williams. The next grade tight end is Evan Ingram, but I'm gonna make a big reach here, and I like this player a lot. I think this player is super undervalued. I don't know why his ADP is still this low. It's Javonte Williams. I'm gonna take Javonte here. I think he gets the full workload. I know Ray's smiling over there, but I like him a lot this year.
Oh, no. You got to be kidding me. So you took Javonte Williams, then Michael Pittman goes, Chris Godwin, Dalvin Cook, of course, my champion himself, Brandon Ayuk. This is a pro Brandon Ayuk show. Golly, I was really hoping I'd get at least a share in a mock draft because I know I'm not going to get him. I'm going to get sniped somewhere. So I've got to make some decisions here. And it's getting really close to Dak time. It really is. I mean, I don't have to do it this pick, but I think that the next pick I'm going to have to because there's 3 teams that need a quarterback. That sucks. So I'm kind of pigeonholed into taking a receiver here. And without Brandon Ayuk, that really limits what I really wanted to do there. I can't take Christian Kirk because I can't have all that capital in one receiving core. So I'm going to reach a little bit, and I know that I'm reaching a little bit. I'm going to take George Pickens.
All right.
I'm going to take George Pickens. I really like George Pickens. I think that this is going to be a year that he steps up. He's got good touchdown upside. I like it. Okay. So after, hold on just a second. Let me scroll that over. After I took George Pickens, then James Conner goes, DeAndre Swift, Mike Williams, Cam Akers rounds up the 6th round. The beginning of the 7th, Tyler Lockett, Christian Kirk, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Isaiah Pacheco, and I'm back in the clock, and I do think it is now Dak time. I don't think I have any more time to wait. So
fair enough. Call your shot.
Begrudgingly.
Yes.
It's Dak Prescott. Begrudgingly.
It's okay.
All right. So after Dak Prescott goes, and to be honest with you, in a full point PPR, Deontay might have been a safer pick, but I'm going with the flashy pick.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson goes, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Mike Evans, Deshaun Watson, and you are on the clock now.
I was really looking to get Deshaun Watson there. It makes me very sad. I was like, that's my last fringe there. So
you're waiting.
Yeah, that's what I get for waiting for quarterbacks, unfortunately. But hey, it is what it is. So the players I have available here are Rashad White, which I really like. There's Evan Ingram as a tight end. There's David Montgomery, who I still think is going to get a nice workload. Jordan Addison, and then James Cook, who I think is going to be receiving back there. But it looks like my flex is already filled out with Javonte. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to have depth, but and at this point I'm either getting a tight end or starting my bench here. Man, when I see James Cook and I see PPR, but Rashad White, I just think of Baker Mayfield being announced a quarterback today and just giving all those dump offs. It's hard to pass on that. So I'm gonna go Rashad White here as my first bench piece.
Okay, so after you took Rashad White, Antonio Gibson, Michael Thomas goes to round out the 7th, which no one should ever draft Michael Thomas ever in the history of time. To start the 8th round, Jordan Addison goes, James Cook in the 8th. It's crazy. We did this real draft earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it today. James
Cook
in
the process.
In the 5th?
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
That's bold. Somebody else said you should take who you want. You should take who you want in an appropriate position.
Yes,
Finish
I agree.
Finish the sentence. And then you're on the clock, Brennan.
I am. So Evan Ingram's sitting right here, but I do need a quarterback. Jahan Dotson, who I really like, but I already own Scary Terry, so it makes no sense. Tua, there's Aaron Rodgers, and there's Kadarius Toney. Man, it's really tough here. I'm looking at this, I don't know what I should do. Man, you know what? I'm a part of the Tua on. I'm a believer in Tua. I am going to take Tua here, and I'm going to risk it.
That's so gross. That makes me so sick to my stomach. So after you go to Jahan Dotson goes, which I like Jahan Dotson too. I think he's special for sure. David Montgomery, Evan Ingram, Pat Freiermuth, and then I am on the clock. And I've got a little pickle on my hands here. So
okay,
I have a chance to go and get Brandon Cooks and stack him with Dak, and maybe I get the last bit of Brandon Cooks and what he's got in his career. Maybe. I could also go Juju Smith-Schuster because I think it's pretty clear that he's going to be the target leader in that offense. I think that's where I'm going to lean, but I just don't like I wish that it wasn't Mac Jones. I wish that it was Bailey Zappi, and that I could guarantee that at least they'd be fighting back when they're down, not just trying to run the ball the whole damn game. But I'm going to go Juju again, begrudgingly. This is 2 picks in a row that I didn't particularly care for. Not liking those. So after I go Juju, then David Njoku goes A.J. Dillon, Brian Robinson, Jamal J. Willie himself to round out the 8th, to start the 9th, Kadarius Toney, Treylon Burks, Zay Flowers, Brandon Cooks, and I am back on the clock. Really hoping that Brandon Cooks would have fell to me. He didn't. So I'm going to go with somebody that I think is a really good sleeper pick, and this is right around where he's going to go. I'm going to go Elijah Moore here.
I like that pick a lot.
So after Elijah Moore, Quentin Johnston goes, Aaron Rodgers, Anthony Richardson, Gabe Davis, and you're back on the clock.
Oh, I was so hoping for Anthony Richardson to be there. I would have taken him back to back. Just like would have blossomed with let Tua play, and then watching Anthony Richardson week 1, seeing what he does, and then I kind of take my gamble there, but that's okay. So my top players here are Odell, just Kirk Cousins, who I'm sorry, Aaron, I'm avoiding him at all costs. There's Dalton Schultz. I still need a tight end. Khalil Herbert, Zach Cabernet, and Cole Kmet. So those are what I'm looking at here, and it's really tough here. I'm trying to look at these players and I'm trying to thinking who is my best bet. Oh, I just found somebody. I am actually going to take Sky Moore. I'm going to gamble, and I hope I get the second option in the Chiefs offense, and that's what I'm just gambling here.
I don't know about that one. So after Sky Moore goes, and Dalton Schultz, Odell Beckham Jr. to round out the 9th, to begin the 10th, Zach Cabernet, Khalil Herbert, and you're back on the clock.
Yeah, I'm back on the clock here. So I still need a tight end. I think I might be punting the tight end all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, because Cole Kmet's nice. He got paid a lot of money, but it's just there's other players here that I kind of like here, because there's Cortland Sutton, who I'm not really huge on, but again, he's still gonna be the second option in the Denver offense. So, man, this is a tough pickings here.
Brennan, to couple what you just said on the punting the tight end thing, in your specific situation, I wouldn't mind going and getting Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, he is that PPR aspect. It's actually not a bad idea with it. You might swing me towards that, because there's Adam Thielen and there's Rashad Bateman. It's just a bunch of things. But if I'm gonna gamble, I want to gamble on somebody I've never seen before, who's just been getting praise in the offense. So you know what, you swayed me. I'm going Dalton Kincaid.
Oh, I was gonna say to wait on him. Well, I guess you couldn't have, because Cole Kmet Dalton Kincaid would win. Yeah. So after you went Dalton Kincaid, then Cole Kmet goes, Rashad Penny, Kirk Cousins, Allen Lazard, and I'm back on the clock. I only say his name because I've been seeing just a ton of hype, and the preseason is kind of pointing in that direction as well.
Yeah.
So I kind of need another running back in my team. I think I do.
Yeah.
And there's only one name that right now in a full point PPR that I'm particularly interested in. It's definitely Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
So after I go Jerick McKinnon, then Cortland Sutton goes Samaje Perine, Geno Smith, Devin Achane, which I do also like, but definitely not as maybe I have to put him in a pretty sticky pickle, You don't
want to start on your flex week 1.
No, I wouldn't want to do that, and I think I might have to do that with Jerick McKinnon. It might have to happen. So to start the 11th, Rashad Bateman, Adam Thielen, Damian Harris, Jameson Williams, and I'm back on the clock again. And I'm looking through the list. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Not liking it. You already know what my last running back is going to be, so that's a given. But
if I take him,
oh, I'd be so upset with you. So again, this full point PPR kind of changes the way that I see receiver value this late in the draft. A guy like Romeo Doubs right now kind of stands out to me.
Okay,
he could be a 5 to 6 reception kind of guy every week, because he has a mind meld with Jordan Love. We don't know. And I think right now is a good enough time to take the shot over a guy like Jacoby Myers, Tyler Boyd. Rashee Rice is interesting, but I want to take Romeo Doubs over him right now. And I've been getting a lot of Romeo Doubs lately. So after I take Romeo Doubs, Chika Okonkwo goes, Tyler Higbee, Ezekiel Elliott, Daniel Jones, and you are on the clock, Brennan.
I am on the clock here. So Jared Goff is kind of interesting because I do have Tua, and I think Goff is going to be a pretty. I think his ceiling is probably like QB 12, QB 10. I think it's what his ceiling is, and so like Tua's is I think it's around the same thing. So like I really don't want to sit there and be like, oh, do I start Tua this week against this defense, or do I start Goff against this defense? So I'm trying to avoid that. I know it's enticing to do so, but like we were just talking about in the news, Elijah Mitchell, it's late in the draft, PPR. When he had that backfield to himself before Christian McCaffrey, he was the workhorse. So I'm going to take Elijah Mitchell here and just see what happens in the background.
All right, so after you took Elijah Mitchell, Jared Goff goes, Greg Dulcich, Tyler Boyd starts the beginning of the 12th round, Jacoby Myers, and you're back on the clock.
I am back on the clock, and this is late round, so I only have one more pick and another pick after this. So I'm looking at guys that I think are just going to be home run hitters late, or they strike out and they look embarrassing. But I'm going to take a guy who's just been getting a lot of hype, who I think actually could be the Carolina receiving leader. I'm going to take Jonathan Mingo here.
I like that move. I don't know if I would have taken him over Rashee Rice, but I like that move. So after you go Jonathan Mingo, Rashee Rice goes, Tyler Algier, you got to be kidding me. Darnell Mooney, Tank Bigsby, and I'm on the clock. Are you sniping me from Team 6? Like, what is happening? What's going on here? That's
funny.
That's bogus. That is so bogus. All right, so now that my champion is gone, my true 1A champion that I've been really sticking behind, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go Nico Collins.
All right.
And it could just be that Tank Dell guy. It could, and I don't know, and this could have been a wasted pick, but it's at the very end of the draft. So Jalen Hyatt goes, then Russell Wilson, Sam Laporta, Raheem Mostert rounds out the 12th. We're at the last round of the draft. Bryce Young goes, Devonta Foreman, Dawson Knox, Derek Carr, and I am on the clock. And that was really like my one true like shot in the dark kind of guy. So I'm going to go ahead and take Justin Ross and see if maybe all the hype is real.
All right.
There's got to be somebody, right? It's got to be somebody in Kansas City. So after I take Justin Ross, Devin Singletary goes, Zay Jones, Rondale Moore, Kendra Miller, and you're back on the clock.
All right, it's crazy. I'm going to take the best running back on the Steelers, and I'm going to take Jaylen Warren. Yeah, I said it. Jaylen Warren is the best running back on the Steelers.
Whew. Whew.
Yep.
All right, so after you take Jaylen Warren, Michael Gallup goes in, Kyler Murray, and we round out the draft. Brennan, please run me through your team.
Let's see here. So first pick, I went Stephon Diggs, and in the wraparound, I went Saquon Barkley. Following the third round, I took Jahmyr Gibbs. Then after that was Keenan. Following Terry McLaurin, Javonte Williams, Rashad White, Tua Tagovailoa, Sky Moore, Dalton Kincaid, Elijah Mitchell, Jonathan Mingo, and Jaylen Warren.
Okay. I like your team. I think it's a good, well-rounded team outside of Tua. I think that's where we're going to struggle. So with my team, I went Travis Kelce at the 105, then Garrett Wilson at the 2, Calvin Ridley at the 3, the middle of the 3rd, Aaron Jones in the 4th, Alexander Madison as my RB2 in the 5th, George Pickens in the 6th as my last flex receiver, Dak Prescott as my quarterback, Juju Smith-Schuster in the 8th, Elijah Moore in the 9th, Jerick McKinnon in the 10th, Romeo Doubs in the 11th, Nico Collins in the 12th, and Justin Ross in the 13th. I do think I'm weak in running back, to be honest, but I did say I was punting running back.
No, and I like your team. The fact that you went Travis Kelce and you tried to build around it, you did pretty well. I mean, the only thing I will say, like for you and I, the fact that quarterbacks went flying very quickly, that we kind of shift towards that. But I think other than that, you have a great draft.
Yeah, I think both the teams are solid. I think that Team 4 is also solid. So, Brennan.
Yes, sir.
Anything else for this episode or anything else for the fine people at home?
I've got nothing.
I don't have anything either, except for if you stuck around this long and you've been seeing us grow and you would like to see us grow some more and get huge and quit our jobs and do this thing full time, please make sure that you hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell the people you don't like. I don't give a shit who it is. Just tell them, tell the people. But until next time, guys, we'll see you later.